from Brian and Kara. How much time, research, energy should be spent on learning about investments?
I don't have a specific number for you. I would love to tell you 4 hours a day, 2 days a week. I don't have a number. Or 2 hours a day. There's not a specific number for how much energy, time, and research you should spend on investments. Since there's not a specific number, let me give you some pieces of wisdom to think about as you're considering this. Anything that you do that is worth doing should occupy some level of energy with you. Now, that might sound totally common sense to you, but it really is true. If you care about something and it is something that's worth doing, it should occupy some time, right? And I would say anything that's worth doing would be things with eternal significance, things that yield some kind of virtuous return. So you ask, okay, can money have both of those qualities in it? I'd say absolutely it can, for sure. So I would say money counts as something that is important. Investments count as something that is important. It should occupy some level of time in your life. It should require some effort. So right there, B and K, we have established a minimum. Okay, money is important. Investments are important for many reasons. They're important. Shanna says money makes the world go round. You need to put a roof over your head. You need to feed your family. You need to put gas in your car. You need money to do those things, plain and simple. Money is important, okay? Not trying to downplay that at all. So I think it's accurate to say, as our floor, as the bottom, the bare minimum, you should spend some time looking at your investments, researching, thinking about it. You shouldn't neglect it totally. Maybe you check in on your portfolio once in a while. Maybe you check in every week or so. You look at the buy list for any new potential opportunities, especially in the next several days and weeks as you'll see those new updates starting to come. Some portion of time every week for sure I think is a good practice, especially if you're looking at the alerts page, the commentary page. It's always good to check those once a week for sure. So you might as well take a look at your portfolio and just make sure everything looks good. I would say a similar thing actually with your bank account. I try to check that even a little more often just because I wouldn't want to miss any kind of suspicious activity on it. But I think it's okay to check it from time to time for sure. It's a good practice to get into because money is important. Maybe in your life stage you spend a little more time, a little less time. I don't see a problem with either within reason. But here's what you have to consider. There's got to be a limit on the energy and the effort and the time and the research that you put into your investments. Because while money is important, Brian and Kara, it is not the most important thing. I'll say that again. While money is important, it's not the most important. I'll address the research component of your question right now because you asked it, how much research should I put into the investments? And I'll just tell you that if you're a partner with the ministry, that question is partially answered for you because we do the research. We do the analytics. We look at the stocks. We pursue if there's any suspicious activity happening with biblically responsible stuff, which is happening with one of our stocks right now, actually. We're doing an investigation on it. We do all of that. I'm not saying you're alleviated from doing any research. I think you should do research on your own, but just know that we're also helping you with that too. Doing research on by yourself is good, but keep in mind that we're also there to help you, and that's part of our main focus of what we do is researching these companies. Consider this as well, Brian and Kara, and I'd say this is the most important question, okay? How important is my money? Pretty simple. How important is my money in terms of all the things in my life that I deem to be important? So I, off the top of my head, can think of several things that are way more important than my money. My relationship with Jesus Christ. I don't know, that sounds pretty important. Yeah, that's only the most important thing ever. That trumps everything else. My marriage. After Jesus Christ, that is the next most important thing. My children. My relationships with my family and my friends, my parents, my in-laws, cousins, brothers, sisters, friends. My church family. My involvement in my church. I'd say to a degree, my health. There are many things, Brian and Kara, that are more important than money. So I would submit to you that if you're thinking and researching and pondering and spending the energy on your investments is starting to infringe upon what's more important, then I would tell you to take a step back. In total, Brian and Kara, a long answer to a short question. I appreciate your question. Your money is important, but it's not the most important, and it's also not the second most important or the third or the fourth or the fifth most important. Give it the attention it deserves. Not less, but especially for the sake of what matters most, certainly not more.